Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are all well. I'm HP Shrimal, Assistant Professor of English, Government College, Manglana. We have read about disease snobberies in the previous lecture. Today we are going to take up the other types of snobberies, as explained by Aldous Huxley. Let's begin. Disease snobbery is only one out of a great multitude of snobberies, of which now some, now others take pride of place in general esteem. For snobberies ebb and flow, their empire rises, declines, and falls in the most approved historical manner. What were good snobberies 100 years ago are out of fashion. Thus, the snobbery of family is everywhere on the decline. Huxley writes, disease snobbery is not the only snobbery, because this is one out of a great multitude of snobberies. Multitude means number, host, or horde. That is to say, disease snobbery is one out of a great number of other snobberies, of which now some, now others take pride of place in general esteem. He says, now one, now others take pride of place in general esteem. People esteem, praise, approve one snobbery today, and they may approve the other snobbery tomorrow. That is to say, just like fashion, snobberies sometimes come in vogue, at other times they become out of fashion. And that's why Huxley says, for snobberies ebb and flow. They come and go. They decline and regrow. Their empire rises, declines, and falls in the most approved historical manner. Just like fashion, snobberies come in fashion, they become out of fashion, and they are approved just like other things in life. What were good snobberies 100 years ago are out of fashion today. What were good snobberies 100 years ago are out of fashion today. Thus, the snobbery of family is everywhere on the decline. And for an instance, Huxley quotes snobbery of family. Large families were in fashion in the past, but today, nuclear families are in fashion. Is that right? He further says that the snobbery of culture, still strong, has now to wrestle with an organized and active lowbrowism. With the snobbery of ignorance and stupidity unique, so far as I know, in the whole of history. Hardly less characteristic of our age is that repulsive bourge snobbery born of American prohibition. Huxley says, the snobbery of culture, which is still strong, has now to wrestle with an organized active lowbrowism. He says that the snobbery of culture is not disappeared. It is still in fashion, but this snobbery of culture has to compete with an organized and active lowbrowism. Lowbrowism means uncultured, unsophisticated things. For example, snobbery of ignorance and stupidity unique. Huxley says that the snobbery of culture has to compete with a snobbery of ignorance and stupidity, which is, in Huxley's view, unsophisticated and uncultured snobbery. He further says, hardly less characteristic of our age is that repulsive bourge snobbery. Repulsive means detestable, disgusting, nasty. He says that one thing that has become typical of our age, and which is repulsive and disgusting snobbery, is the bourge snobbery. And he says that this bourge snobbery was born of American prohibition. What is American prohibition? In the 18th century, because of the amendment to the US Constitution, manufacturing, transportation, and sale of intoxicating liquors were banned. And this is known as American prohibition. Huxley says that this booze snobbery is the child of that American prohibition. Is that right? And therefore, in the opinion of Huxley, booze snobbery has become a little bit characteristic or typical of our age. He further says the malefic influences of this snobbery are rapidly spreading all over the world. Even in France, where the existence of so many varieties of delicious wine has hitherto imposed a judicious connoisseurship and has led to the branding of mere drinking as a brutish solecism. Even in France, the American booze snobbery, with its odious accompaniments, a taste for hard drinks in general and for cocktails in particular, is making headway among the rich. He says the malefic influences, malefic means harmful. The harmful influences of this snobbery, this booze snobbery, are rapidly spreading all over the world. Is that right? Now he says, even in France, where the existence of so many varieties of delicious wine has hitherto imposed a judicious wise connoisseurship and has led to the branding of mere drinking as a brutish solecism. Brutish, brutal, or of low intelligence. Solecism, behavior that is a social mistake, that is blunder. Huxley says that even in France today, the history tells us that in France there was, the existence of a variety of delicious wine. But even in that France, branding of mere drinking was considered a brutal blunder. Even in that France, the booze snobbery has become a fashion. Even in France, the American booze snobbery with its odious accompaniments, odious means repulsive, with its repulsive, disgusting accompaniments is making headway. Making headway means making progress among the rich. You see the impact of booze snobbery, that even in the country where a test for fine arts, a test for fine arts, a test for good wine, a test for fine arts, a test for good wine was popular. Even in that France, booze snobbery has come in fashion and it's making headway, making progress in the rich. He further says, booze snobbery has now made it socially permissible and in some circles even rather creditable for well brought up men, and this is the novelty, well brought up women of all ages from 15 to 70 to be seen drunk, if not in public, at least in the very much tempered privacy of a party. And now see, Huxley says that booze snobbery has now made it socially permissible. People recognize it. That booze snobbery is booze snobbery is acceptable. It cannot be objected, and in some circles, even rather creditable. That is commendable. People believe that this snobbery is commendable, praiseworthy, laudable. Because well brought up men and well brought up women of all ages from 15 to 70, well brought up men, that is to say well to do men, rich men, wealthy men, people of fine tastes from the age group of 15 to 70 to be seen drunk. And when you see a lot of people with fine tastes drunk, You recognize it. You accept it. It becomes a norm of our society. If not in public, however, for Huxley further adds that it's possible that you don't see them drunk in public, at least in the very much tempered privacy of a party. Then you would definitely see them drunk in privacy, that is in the four walls of a room. He further says that modernity snobbery, though not exclusive to our age, has come to assume an unprecedented importance. The reason for this are simple and of a strictly economic character. Thanks to the modern machinery, production is outrunning consumption. Organized waste among consumers is the first condition of our industrial prosperity. The sooner a consumer throws away the object he has bought and buys another, the better for the producer. Huxley first discusses, first of all, he discusses disease snobbery. Then he comes to booze snobbery. And now he is discussing modernity snobbery. People want to be considered modern, ultra modern, updated, etc. He says that this modernity snobbery is not exclusive to our age. Exclusive is restricted. This is not a new phenomenon. You may not say that this is a new phenomenon. This is only restricted to our own age, and that's why he said that though not exclusive to our age, has become to assume an unprecedented importance. But now it has become a fact that it has achieved unforeseen importance. The reasons for this are simple and of a strictly economic character. And why has it become so? In Huxley's opinion, modernity snobbery has assumed unforeseen importance in our age because of its economic character. And what is the economics behind it? Huxley says thanks to modern machinery. Thanks to means because of modern machinery, production is outrunning consumption. That is, production is exceeding consumption. You produce more things, but you consume less things. You produce more things and you consume fewer things. And the result is that organized waste among consumers is the first condition of our industrial prosperity. And when you want to show yourself yourself as industrially yourself prosperous in industry, then it is a must that you show organized waste. You waste more things, you throw away things which can be still used. And if you throw away things that can still be used, it is evidence that you are prosperous, you have affluence in your industry. The sooner a consumer throws away the object he has bought and buys another, the better for the producer. And what is better for the producer? The sooner you buy and throw away a thing is better for the producer, because you will buy a new one. Isn't that? That is the moot point. So this is what he says modernity snobbery. We have read today about booze snobbery and a little about modernity snobbery. In the next lecture we will take it up further. Till then, thanks. Keep reading. Thank you.